From the director of Seven, Zodiac, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, this is the Facebook movie. Or actually, it's The Social Network, but yes. David Fincher, probably one of my favorite filmmakers, actually brought this one along just this past year, back in 2010. You might have heard a lot about it, but it has finally now been released on Blu-ray, courtesy of Sony Pictures or Columbia. And so, just to give you guys an idea of what the packaging will look like here, this is a very interesting package in that it reminds me a lot of Criterion's work, in that what they did, and that the original assumption about this Blu-ray was that just like David Fincher's previous Blu-ray of The Curious Case of Ben Button, it was assumed that Criterion would take the reins and release The Social Network as well, but unfortunately that didn't come to be. But it's alright though, Sony has kept you guys covered. It is actually pretty good though. I mean, the extras are not up to snuff of what Criterion could have provided, we don't know, but it's still a very solid package and worth your money, not only just for the film alone, but just for the audio, visuals, and the extra features. But just to give you a look at the packaging reminds me, like I said, a lot about Criterion's work, in that it's very authentic and very unique. I'll put it that way, we'll put it at unique. Starting out with this portion right here, it's kind of a slip flap over a type of slip box, but just to give you an idea of what the flap looks like, it has the has all the film's accolades and whatnot on the side, kind of like a Facebook wall in a way. What this all looks like. On the back, have pictures, film descriptions, and the extras and whatnot. Concerning the extras, though, very plentiful, in that the main highlight of it all is the how did they ever make a movie, a Facebook documentary, which really it does answer the question of how could you possibly make a movie about the creation of Facebook. And David Fincher actually does a pretty good job at it, in that, knowing him, he likes to focus more so on the human psyche and why people do things, what drives people to do things and whatnot, and especially something as culturally huge as Facebook, offers something about that. So he explains it well, plus also includes a commentary from David Fincher himself and a producer or so, 2 commentaries at that. And it also includes one of my favorite ones is that Trent Reznor, another one of my favorite musicians. Yeah, he films with bands with David Fincher. Kind of a match made in heaven for me. But what he does is he takes you into it, and he shows you the Hall of the Mountain King song that was used in the film, and he breaks it down and shows it to you of a scrap version that didn't make it onto the film, and then alongside of the original version, which I think was pretty cool. Plus, also, there's a Swarmatron feature, which shows you an instrument that he did use when scoring the film, and, of course, there's a scene breakdown typical of David Fincher. But there's a lot more, but those are my main highlights of it. No deleted scenes, unfortunately, but it's a David Fincher film, so he didn't really make that much excess stuff. But anyways, just to give you, again, a look at the top. Kind of interesting when you look at it. So, take off the top, you get this embossed box in which you don't get to a 500 million friends without making a few enemies. The quote that sold the movie, essentially. And so, got the Social Network written on the side. Not embossed, but this here is embossed, kind of a dark gray, if you can get the angle into it, kind of pressed in a little bit. On the back here is just the film credits. So, where are the discs? Other side. Also, too, something else about the slip box is that it's kind of made of like a velvet type feel. It's really interesting. Punk, prophet, genius, billionaire, trader, however you'd like to name Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook. Still keeps the same. Photo montage of snapshots of the entire film. Then we open this up, and as you can tell by the discs here, Criterion's influence is, you can tell that they did have Criterion in mind at the way how they made the discs with these, and just it says Social Network on the side with disc 2, the supplements, keeping it really, really simple, just like the Criterion discs, which I think is very interesting. Snapshot of the movie. Special features disc, and this one is the film in itself. Very fitting. Cut it off midway. Pop these back in. This also, too, has some type of a velvet feel in a way. This forms out into a digipack. So not your traditional Blu-ray case for this, or traditional Blu-ray release, but hey, this is not a very traditional movie. So, put this back in. Goes back into the slip box. Then goes back to here. I'm going to have to hold it down too, because this flap, unfortunately, will not stay down. Let's see, but overall, though, when it comes to the visuals and the sound, it really, I'll put it to you this way: it's not Transformers. Okay, it's not going to be, essentially like this big extravaganza that you can show off your entire home theater setup to, but it's still a very, very solid disc. Picture quality, I would have to give a 4 out of 5, because simply put, I mean, it's clear. It's very, very clear, very, very defined. The blacks are very deep, especially a lot of the exterior shots, and Fincher loves to shoot his films in like a certain visual presentation that I can't really describe that much, but if you've seen his previous films, you'll know kind of sort of what I'm talking about here. But when it comes to colors, it's like colors are very, very evident, especially like in the Facebook offices, it's really good, or when they're celebrating their 1 millionth viewer. This television screens gleam at the fireworks are very, very colorful, and you can see every little detail down to the very fabric of the Harvard sweatshirts that people wear. Very, very clear. The sound actually did surprise me in that not only I knew that it was going to be really, really special because of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score, which is on par with Inception's score, by the way, in terms of not only its musicianship and creativity, but of its also of how great it is, in high definition. It's very bass-heavy, very interesting, and not as, loud and boisterous as Inception's soundtrack, but like I said, it goes with the film in that it's ambiance that carries the entire thing. From going outside when it's crowds of people swarming all around you, to the outside exterior shots of nature, and throughout in the entire area. And dialogue is very crisp and clear, and it doesn't sound crowded or whatnot. It's a very, 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 very clear soundtrack. So again, it's not as loud as boisterous as Transformers or anything like that, or Iron Man, but it's still very, very good. But overall, I'd have to give picture quality, give it a 4 out of 5. Audio is a very strong 4 out of 5. And the extras, I have to give a 4 out of 5 as well. I mean, the commentary by Fincher is great, but it feels like there's something missing, even though there is plenty of behind-the-scenes work and whatnot. But otherwise else, though, to use a bad Facebook pun, I think you will like this Blu-ray disc, and so hope this helps, guys. You stay cool, and take care of yourselves. Peace.